When live, I hear you cry. When live now, actually. Live now. Hello, everybody. Hola, hola, Estrellitas. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome to the stream. I don't really have a plan for tonight. We're doing a hand cam stream. That's about really all I planned out, to be quite frank. I am riding by the seat of my pants. Although this weekend I will be utilizing the TBH model a bit more, so that'll be exciting. I am excited for that. Hello, Miguel. Welcome, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great night. Let me grab. Hold on. I just got back from the gym. I'm very tired. I'm very tired, but we're gonna push through it. Gotta read so far. Okay. I got my special Galaxy pen. Yes, I do remember you. I got my Galaxy stuff. Also, don't mind my nails, please. My nails are not great tonight. I tried to do them myself, and it looks like it. I gotta go get them fixed at some point. Let's see. I have to remember. I haven't touched the diamond painting since we last did this, so I'm gonna get my YouTube set up, and I'm gonna hope I don't get copyright struck or anything. Let's see. You know what we could watch, actually? You know what we could definitely actually watch? Holy shit, we could watch Anna. We could watch Anna again. Oh my gosh. Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad idea, but it's tough. Recently I've been watching a lot of Tail Foundry too. I like Tail Foundry quite a bit. Oops. Let's see. What videos do we have? Hatred for the creator. The only thing scarier than cosmic horror. That actually sounds really interesting. What do you guys think? Something calming to listen to while we do some silly goofy. Oh, some silly goofies. What say you? Let's do this.
I can't wait for my parents to meet you tomorrow.
I thought I had turned off my advertisement. My block. Aw.
Can't wait. Oh, by the way,
We're gonna ignore this ad. Okay, here you go.
Self-drawn to a mysterious land.
Okay.
Lives a singing...
So Tail Foundry is, you have Discord? I do have a Discord. You should join it. I'm trying to remember if the command works on YouTube. I don't think it does. I will send, actually the link should be in my, hold on, let me double check this real quick. I think if you go to my YouTube and you go to my link tree or whatever it is, my card, that's what it's called, a card. It should have, I do have Discord, yes. But I have like a Discord specifically for fans. Let me see if I can find it on here. Yeah, if you go to my, oh, it's not on here. Okay, I gotta update that. Let me add my Discord on to my YouTube, actually, because I completely forgot about that. Or not my Discord, but like, let me add my card, and then that should, can I adjust from here? No, I can't. Okay, I gotta fix that. How do I do this? I might do it, shit, hold on. Let me see if I can figure it out now. If I can't, I will do it later. That's my channel. That's probably it. That's the bitch. Okay, let's see. I want to add my card. Star Traveler pg.card.co. I think that's how it is. Let me double check that link real quick. Yep, that's the website I made. Alright. Actually, HTTP. Is it www? Oh, okay, hold on. Either way, it should work. I think I'm gonna. Let me double check. New channel. Let's see. Let me just make sure the link works real quick. Yep, we're good. Okay, and on that website should have all the links where you can find me. Yippee! Woohoo! Alright, and I'll probably add a few more links on there at some point. But for now, Dale Foundry time. Oh, I opened Google Chrome. I did not mean to do that. Okay. Here we go.
A man finds himself drawn to a mysterious land where lives a singing flame.
A singing flame.
One by one,
Ooh.
visitors from across the cosmos find themselves so enchanted by it that they inevitably congregate there to throw themselves
see.
into the flame.
I
just to
need
become one with it.
to remember which colors are
Away, the
which.
colossus of living human bodies
Uh,
stomps its way through a dark countryside.
Make sure I'm not showing up on
Instead of
camera.
running
I mean,
away
I
in
doubt I
horror,
would.
One man is
Kinda doubt
overcome
it.
with awe at the sight and chases it down in hopes to become part
Alright,
of it.
let's see.
A woman inhales a mysterious
Actually-
spore as it slowly colonizes
Hold
her
on,
body.
I think I forgot
She
something.
she
Give me a second.
somehow feels
Enjoy
better
the
than ever. She
enjoy the
thinks of
spores.
infection as a bright
Enjoy the
glowing
spores.
inside her. These
Ah,
are
my
all
glasses.
undeniably
Oh god.
cosmic horror
Okay,
stories.
here we go.
Their protagonists are most definitely victims of existentially terrifying fates.
Here we go.
But they don't seem to see it
Okay.
that way. To them, what they're experiencing is less cosmic
Alright,
horror
the
and
spores. How are they?
more cosmic bliss. If you watch a lot of this
Cosmic
channel, you'll
bliss,
understand this
ooh.
concept. We made a whole video about it last year. Back then, I was really trying to describe it as a matter of perspective. Sometimes cosmic horror just isn't scary because to some people, these are just incredible brushes with the sublime. But the comment section on that video didn't quite agree.
I
A lot of you
think
said that this
Cosmic
whole
Bliss is
cosmic bliss
scarier
thing
than
actually freaks you out. That
than
it's
cosmic
weird to
horror.
see someone run toward
If
this
you ask
kind of
me,
horror.
but
Weird to see them not just unafraid, but excited.
let me just check something real quick.
The overwhelming sentiment is that this sort of unwilling,
Okay.
euphoric excitement about
Alright.
the prospect.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to go
After
back.
your
Where
healing
did it
sent,
go?
I'll just-
Here we
a
go.
lot of you
We'll
said
start from
that this
there.
whole cosmic bliss thing actually freaks you out. That it's weird to see
I need to
someone
move my mic.
run toward this kind of horror. Weird to see them not just unafraid, but excited.
Let me move
The
my mic a little
overwhelming
bit.
sentiment is that this sort of unwilling, euphoric excitement about the prospect of self-dissolution
Let me
is
actually.
somehow scarier than cosmic horror itself.
That should be good, I think.
After giving it a
Hopefully,
lot
we'll find
of
out.
thought,
Let me know if the
I
audio is
actually
okay.
agree with you.
I love Tail Foundry though. As a writer, fucking Tail Foundry, oh, so good. They really inspire me to be more conscious about what I'm reading.
In the recent game, Still Wakes the Deep.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
From the police after brutalizing someone else in a fight.
I was just about to say, Still Wakes the Deep and
Until everything
Bliss.
blows over, Kaz leaves his wife and daughters for a few months and gets a job on an oil.
I
rig
fucking
down
love
at
Still
sea.
Wakes the Deep. Oh, I didn't
For
pick
a
anything
while,
up actually.
it sort of works out for him. Kaz's best friend is there with him. He's good at his job. He's evaded the cops. I mean, his boss is a dirtbag and his wife keeps threatening divorce, but that's life, right? One day, the rig happens to drill into the wrong patch of seafloor and awakens something.
Mm-hmm.
It rises out of
Let me
the
check
ocean
something,
and
hold
starts
on.
growing out through the rig like some kind of fleshy kudzu plant, transforming everyone it touches into gibbering abominations. Kaz spends the entire game running around trying his best to fix things.
Yippee!
First, he
Welcome to
thinks
the
that maybe he can
starship.
escape via helicopter. Except, no, the
Oh.
helicopter blows up. Well, at least there's the lifeboat. Yep, never mind. The lifeboats literally do not work.
Of course they
What's that?
don't.
The whole rig is sinking? Well, guess it's time to slink around in the dark recesses of the rig's bowels so we can tinker with the rig's flotation system and buy just a little more time. You spend
This game fucked me up.
game this way, running around doing little maintenance tasks. Oh here, pull this lever, turn that winch, troubleshoot the generator. Again. It quickly starts to feel like a lot of aimless busy work. You'll notice your objectives gradually become less ambitious. At first, you're trying to escape. Then, you're trying to survive. In the end, you're just trying to stave off the inevitable for a little longer, buying yourself any spare seconds you can manage. And before long, even that starts to feel pretty pointless. I mean, the rig is already destroyed beyond repair. You're surrounded by grotesque knots of flesh that used to be your friends. Every time you think you've solved a problem,
Oh, here it is.
12 more emerge. You're going to die here. What's the point of all this? At the end of the game, Kaz finally accepts this. The rig is a fireball in the middle of the ocean, and all your friends are dead, or worse. Even if someone were to show up to save you, who's to say this thing wouldn't hitch a ride to the mainland? The entire world could be at stake, unless you end this now.
So that he fucked me up so
Kaz
much.
is driven by his fear. The whole reason he got a job on the rig in the first place is because he was afraid of facing jail time. All of these pointless tasks
hold
after the
on.
rig's infestation are just
Do I have a
attempts
pencil or
to
like
stave
something
off
that I
a
can...
grisly fate. At the end of the game, right before he sacrifices himself, Kaz's last living friend tells him to be brave for once in his life. Despite his just having spent hours swimming through oil and sneaking past mutants, the only really courageous thing that Kaz does, the thing that ends up mattering, is finally turning around to face his fears. The very last action prompt in the game isn't jump or sprint or hide. It's let go. There is one more scene in the game. It takes place before all of this. We see through Kaz's eyes as he
Let me
wakes
see if
up
I can
on the
fix
morning of
this.
his
Hold on.
departure. This isn't the rig anymore. This is his own bed, in his own bedroom. His wife is still asleep next to him. The game gives you a moment to take all of this in. It's one of the few moments of true comfort you as a player are ever afforded. The only thing you can really do in this scene is approach the door and leave. But you just played through all that terror. You know what's coming. You know what will happen if you leave now. Kaz says goodbye to his sleeping wife, promises to be home soon, and opens the bedroom door onto an endless expanse of gray ocean. It begs a question. What if Kaz hadn't left? Is running away, putting an ocean of distance between you and everything you love?
You should create a
Who knows
VC,
how long?
please, please. Maybe in a little bit.
Risking some prison time? Maybe if Kaz hadn't let the fear win, if he just
Maybe like
let
after
go
stream
soon,
or something.
faced the music, he would have
I usually
at least
stream
been
on
able
my
to come
own,
back.
hehe.
Maybe this final
Although I
scene
need to collab
represents a
more.
life
I
away
acknowledge
from
that.
him,
I like
rather than a
collabs, I
life
just
lost.
haven't gotten a chance to
Wouldn't it have
collab.
been better for Kaz
I
if
need
he
more
just
people to collab with, to be honest.
been afraid at all?
Let's see.
Melancholia is a Lars von Trier film from
Ooh,
2011.
Melancholia. I need to
And
watch
if
it
you've ever
still.
seen a von Trier movie, you know that they're the opposite of blissful.
They are.
In the movie, a rogue planet called Melancholia has emerged from behind the sun and is traveling through the solar system.
Sorry, I'm trying to move the microphone so it's not
The
in my
story
way.
follows two estranged sisters, Claire and Justine, as they grapple with their impending
Okay,
doom.
there we go.
NASA claims Melancholia will scoot harmlessly past our planet, but Claire and Justine aren't so sure. As the rogue planet inches closer and closer, and more optimistic predictions inevitably prove to be wrong, it becomes clear that this is the end. There's nothing to do and nowhere to go, as Claire's young son Leo puts it. By the end of the week, all life on Earth, and therefore, according to Justine, all life in the universe will be wiped out. Justine and Claire are very different people. Claire has a wealthy husband, a family estate, and a precocious little boy to take care of. Justine cheated on her husband on the night of their wedding and then immediately quit her job. Claire has a lot going on for her, with a picturesque, stress-inducing life. Justine is a self-saboteur in the middle of a depressive spiral. When they realize they're about to die, they sort of start to trade places.
Let's see.
Claire, who has always had her life together, has a complete breakdown.
That's an equal
to the
sign.
point that she can barely care for her own son. Justine, who until a few days
Did I
ago
have my
didn't even have
scissors?
the strength
I have
to bathe
scissors.
herself,
I just need to figure out where they are.
steps up to comfort her young nephew. She's come to terms with what she always knew would happen. Now she has to be strong for everyone else. Throughout the movie, there's this strange implication that Justine has some sort of extrasensory perception, some kind of spiritual connection to melancholia. She professes to just know things, such as how many beans are in a jar or that there's no life anywhere besides on Earth. While her sister cowers away from Melancholia's approach, Justine treats it with a sort of reverence. She's known from the beginning that the entire planet is about to be destroyed, while everyone around her was in denial. She's had her breakdown, she's cut the ties that would make it too hard to leave her life behind, and now she's waking up.
Do you ash
The last shot of the movie shows Claire, Justine, and Leo sitting on the lawn, holding hands as Melancholia speeds toward them. There's an impact. The ground shakes, the planet is crumbling to dust. Claire screams and flinches away, while Justine sits perfectly still, just waiting. You see her face for just a moment, and she looks relieved, almost smiling. The apocalypse is here, and Justine isn't afraid. She's glad. Like Still Wakes the Deep, Melancholia ends with the character accepting their demise. The difference here is that Justine doesn't try to fight it.
I think this
Kaz's
is
story
okay.
asks if it might be better to not be afraid in the first place. Melancholia answers with a resounding no. Faced with her own inevitable demise, Justine wasn't afraid. And that's what's so horrifying about this movie. We can relate the fear that Kaz and Claire experience. For Justine, it just seems so tragic that she found her life to be so horrible that she saw complete annihilation as a relief. Is that really better than being afraid? In 1997, sheriff's deputies entered a mansion in the San Diego suburbs and found the rotting corpses of 39 people.
Oh, is
These
this
39
Heaven's
people,
Gate?
all members of a New Age religious group called Heaven's Gate,
Heaven's Gate.
had committed ritual suicide.
Mm.
They thought that they were evacuating Earth and catching a ride to heaven on a comet. They were told that this would lead them to evolving to their next level bodies. In reality, they had been lured into a death cult, and they were thrilled to die. I want to read you this graduation note that the members left on the Heaven's Gate website right before they departed. Hale Bop's approach is the marker we've been waiting for. The time for the arrival of the spacecraft from the level above human to take us home to their world.
I was not expecting Heaven's Gate to pop up on stream
22
tonight.
years of classroom here on planet Earth is finally coming to conclusion. Graduation
There's a
from the
game that I need to
human
play.
evolutionary level. We are happily prepared to leave this world and go with T's crew. Still Wakes the Deep and Melancholia are fiction.
Did I do this wrong?
They get to be a little spectacular with how they
I think I might have
explore
done
this
this
idea.
wrong.
The Heaven's Gate incident
No,
is
I don't
not.
think I did this wrong,
It was
actually.
a
I lied to myself.
real-life example of people succumbing to a sense of cosmic bliss. The members of Heaven's Gate had managed to convince themselves that their excruciating deaths would be a good thing, that it would lead them to eternal life as extraterrestrial beings in paradise, as long as they gave up their humanity. From their perspective, this ritual of self-dissolution was joyful and worthy of exaltation. From the outside,
Oh,
we
wait, no, I did do
recognize
this
it
wrong,
for the
actually.
horror story
Shit.
that it is. As horrifying as the Heaven's Gate incident was, the whole earning eternal life
Uh-oh.
in paradise
Fuck.
if you meet these specific parameters
Alright, let's
thing
see.
is you know, pretty ordinary.
These are
If you
P,
want to
I
get
think.
taken along to heaven during the rapture, you have to be a saved Christian. There's a Buddhist belief that if you want to reach nirvana, you have to give up your earthly desires.
This is why we
Even
check
in
people.
the secular world, you have the concept of ego death, where you take drugs or engage in therapies
That's
designed
peace,
to
I'd
dismantle
say.
your self-concept. Release your selfishness, narcissism, prejudice, and become the best version of you. But aren't these all also examples of willing self-dissolution? Wouldn't they all also technically require giving up part of who I am? If I do unlock my eternal self, will it be me or something that used to be me? Why is it that this concept is scary in the case of Heaven's Gate, but the complete opposite in all these other situations? How is it that human beings can be both terrified by this idea and at the same time, in so many cases, aspire toward it? It's almost as if you value the idea of releasing your fears, see the ability to get past all the sticky,
No, it didn't stop.
undesirable parts
Why
of
did it
selfhood as
quiet
a
then?
virtue.
Oh, hold on. Give me a second. My
And
all right,
at
we're
the
back.
same time,
Sorry, my
you know that those
headphones went
things
out. Had to
make
restart.
you. Fear is not this isolated thing within a person. Your fears are reflexive. They're informed by what you value. For characters like Kaz and Claire, they're clearly terrified of losing their families. For people like Justine, who feel like they don't have anything to lose,
Let me
fear
see.
need not apply. And I do mean fear here, not anxiety. I'm not trying to imply that arachnophobia stems from a deep-seated philosophical love of a spiderless existence. I'm talking about existential fears, the ones tied to who you are and what you want for yourself. If you never experienced any fear at all, one possible implication of that would be that you just don't value anything. And if you don't value anything, why are you here? How do you derive a sense of meaning from that
Let's
kind
see.
of existence?
Come on.
I understand in theory that liberation from fear may feel like a relief. Fear is unpleasant to experience. Why waste all that energy in paralyzing terror if you could just not do that? But the more I think about it, the more it seems to me that fear is, in a way, cosmically validating, necessary to tether you to who you are. If you don't have that tether, who you are might just disappear. It's one thing to be immolated in a ball of celestial fire or consumed by an eldritch god thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's another to just stop being, to have no self-concept, to willingly relinquish who you are. The only thing scarier than cosmic horror is not being scared at all. You might find it a little weird that I just managed to get through an entire video about cosmic horror without ever once mentioning H.P. Lovecraft. Part of that is because, to be honest, we've just made a lot of content about him already. He is
Let me
kind of
see.
regarded as the father of cosmic horror, after all. What you probably wouldn't necessarily guess is that this wide, cosmic perspective largely comes from the unfathomably small breadth of Lovecraft's life. His isolation, his fear of the entire world. We actually made a whole documentary about this process.
Ooh.
It's part of our Worldsmith series,
I need to watch.
which you can find over on Nebula.
I need to get into his stuff. I'm not joining the VC right now. Sorry. Let's see. I've seen that one. Let's see. Nobody lives here? This could be interesting. Let's see. Let's do this one.
Don't wait in line.
You're not allowed to advertise on my stream unless I'm making money from it. Ooh. Get dunked on. Oh, I can skip now. Ooh, already starting off strong. Oops, come on.
If I were to ask you what decades you think all of these clips are from, what would you say? Maybe some from the 80s, some from the 90s.
I recognize one of
Maybe
them.
some of them look distantly familiar, like you might have seen them once on TV as a child. It all feels like it belongs to a different era, but none of it is more than a few years old. In fact, none of it is older than 2020. This is all new media made to look old. Brand new technology, brand new artists, purposely manufacturing this dated aesthetic. It's not a new phenomenon. I'm just not sure there's ever been this much of it. It feels like I see this literally everywhere I look now, more and more every day. Especially when it comes to horror. You've probably noticed it too. Horror games compressed down to a scattering of heinously dithered pixels, creepy films full of forgotten cartoons and old-timey music. At first, I thought it might just be a sort of fad, a phase indie horror was going through. But the more I see it, the more I get the feeling these memories are at home in horror. Somehow, this sense of nostalgia just makes more sense in the darkness. After all,
I have to
isn't that
remove
where
some
ghosts
because I fucked up.
belong?
Let's see.
Nostalgia horror is a pretty broad term. It's not really a genre per se, it's more of a treatment. It's mascot horror, analog horror, liminal horror, anything that in any way tries to look old and also tries to be scary. Which is, of course, subjective. We made a whole video just trying to wrap our heads around the expansiveness of this phenomenon last year, but even that barely scratches the surface. Maybe the easiest way to navigate this space is to think of it as a spectrum. How intentional is the nostalgia element? How much at play is that in defining the purpose of the work? On the one end, you have game developers like Puppet Combo, the studio behind runaway hits like Babysitter Bloodbath and Nun Massacre. Just from those names alone, you can probably smell the intent. Their games all have this PlayStation 1 style and cover art meant to look like old slasher movie VHS cases. These scream nostalgia. Their core conceit is that they are, in the modern age, in an accessible and interactive format, calling back to another time. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have developers like this guy, Yames. You might have seen some popular Let's Play channels trying out his games Growing My Grandpa and Discover My Body. They both made waves a few years back for their sheer weirdness, a large part of which is their distinctive look. I say these games are on the opposite end of the spectrum of intentionality from Puppet Combo because they just
Bongo Billy, thank you so much for the hydrate. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great night.
Consistently look old, but in a different sort of way.
Here I go.
Like they're calling back to a specific point in time, and more like they're just
yummy
displaced
water
altogether.
All right.
Corrupted and crunched and twisted until they look almost like a caricature of an old, damaged game. Like they were left out in the rain and the graphics themselves have started to mold. It's hard to imagine accomplishing a look like this on purpose.
I need to play more games.
Intent here because
I think I played one of
really
them
a
long time ago.
There are tons of good reasons for making something like this. Many of them are very practical from a development standpoint. It's easier to create visuals like this. There's less of an expectation for perfection when the whole game looks outdated to begin with. The low-res style provides a certain ambiguity that allows the audience to use their imagination. All very good reasons to choose to do this, and you can see those clever applications shine when you play these games. But there's this feeling you get when you play titles like Games is. This
Come
feeling
on.
that
Give
it
me a
isn't just
diamond.
a choice. It's not just practical. It's almost a force imposing itself
Let's see.
on creators.
That's definitely like not uncommon for game devs to like draw on the past. You don't have to have something that's like looking like a.
I think that should be good.
AAA
I think I
game.
fixed my
Make something out of
my
pixel
mistake.
art, and like maybe it'll be 2 colors, right? Like
Let's
maybe
do
it'll
it.
just be black and white, and that's a lot easier to create assets for than full 3D stuff that takes a full advantage of all like modern console and PC graphics stuff.
That was Yang's. I wanted to make sure I wasn't seeing things. I wanted to see what it was like for him creating art of this nature. So I talked
Let's
to him
see.
about it. And a lot of those more practical considerations are
So
there.
K is
But I
3042.
think it's telling that not even he has a really good explanation for why this works so well, or why he feels so drawn to it. With Puppet Combo, I at least understand the intent. The past can be uncomfortable. We're supposed to be afraid of ghosts. The conceit is clear. With Yames, it's just raw, old, weird,
3042.
broken
Here we
stuff.
go.
There's not a lot of sense to it.
Where
Just
is my scissors?
vibes.
Mis tijeras.
Although, he did use one term that stuck with me while we were talking. Something weirdly appropriate for studying a
I just
field
had
of
them. Where
digital ghosts.
did I put them?
Hauntology. If you're an academic, you probably get that wordplay pretty much immediately.
No.
Ontology is the philosophical study of being, of existence. Hauntology is the study of things that used to exist in the past, and which now, for whatever reason, have begun to exist again in the present, as if called back from beyond the grave. Despite its relative obscurity, this is not a niche field of study.
Scissors,
In a
guys.
world that
I
appears
got
to
my
be
scissors.
increasingly
My
built for
scissors,
ghosts,
guys.
hauntology becomes a default study, one you almost can't avoid.
All right, here we
It's
go.
also nothing new. The Victorian era was also an especially haunted period. People of that time, especially in Western Europe, seemed particularly interested in reviving the past. There was a renewed fascination with Greek and Roman philosophy. Shakespeare had a huge resurgence in popularity. Much of the art and poetry from that era expressed less interest in modernity than in idyllic scenes of bygone ages.
Let's see.
We're all familiar with the tropes of Victorian romance. As long as there have been people, those people have missed their pasts, fantasized about pasts they never got to experience.
3042 is P, I believe,
Does
right?
sort of seem to me like the fixation is maybe a little
No, it's K.
out of hand these days.
It's K.
Don't you sometimes get the feeling that pop culture has kind of stalled out? That the developments that do occur are happening at such a minute level that they're almost impossible to detect? At least for the Victorians, the innovations felt like innovations. The light bulb and the phonograph and the telephone were all huge leaps forward. Those were things that blew people's minds. Those were things that represented complete paradigm shifts. When was the last time
Oops.
you felt something like that? When TikTok came out? When the Cybertruck was unveiled?
No, absolutely the
Humanity
fuck
is
not.
still making incredible
Cybertruck was
leaps and
always
bounds
silly.
all the time.
I'll go on the record
It's
saying
just
that.
Not as much a part of the zeitgeist. Real innovations are quieter these days. It's hard to make a headline out of RNA vaccine variant 5,000,001, even if it's already saving lives. There's a real, very well justified sense that the sensational stuff, crypto, Web3, generative AI, TikTok, the Cybertruck, are just not real. They're pretty incentives for shareholders. They're exciting to hold press conferences about, but they don't feel
Where did my
like
pen go?
progress.
Here it is.
They feel like technological bloat, almost at humanity's expense. I think, in general,
Alright.
there's a strong pining for a world and a future that does feel real. One that's not just sensational. A future that's genuinely exciting. One with actual paradigm shifts. And so, we see humans trying to relive the old dreams, making better wrist communicators and tricorders and cars with doors that open like the ones in Back to the Future. Every horror channel on YouTube uses damaged VHS style effects and old stock music.
Oops.
Every
I
old
dropped
aesthetic is
one.
repackaged and sold online as dreamcore or weirdcore or some other core. I do actually like a lot of this stuff,
Oh, it's
but how long can you keep doing it? How long before you just run out of nostalgia?
That is a
If
good
it's the
question.
80s and 90s right now, what will you be nostalgic for in another 30 years? If
I know
everything
people are
that's
already
memorable
nostalgic for
about
One
this period is
Direction
actually just the same stuff
and
that was memorable
DComs.
about 30 or 40 years ago, what then? Will it just be another even more skewed 80s revival again in the future? It's like a game of telephone, except you're playing it with your memories. Each pass between generations changes them. Slowly, they become harder and harder to recognize. Slowly, you lose the memory of what you were even supposed to be nostalgic for.
Hmm.
In his 2020 book, Hauntology, The Ghosts of Future Past, Merlin Coverley argues that nostalgia has become so deeply ingrained in today's postmodern culture that it's made itself redundant. He says that the present can no longer be experienced as anything other than the sum of its pasts. A game of telephone, if I've ever seen one. And if that is what's happening, nostalgia itself is steadily becoming more redundant and less meaningful, then, he suggests, the natural trajectory of society would be toward a completely post-nostalgic culture. One divested from the ability to even experience nostalgia at all because you simply haven't had enough distance from any one memory to feel nostalgic for it. If they
Ooh.
never leave, you can't miss them, and you can't bring them back. They just keep drifting around years past their prime, unable to pass into obsolescence. Digital ghosts.
Ooh. That's a good
Simon Reynolds,
line.
the author of the book Retromania, put this really well. He says that culture is decelerating, while technology is accelerating. Cutting-edge music production equipment used to make songs that sound like they're from the 80s, modern game engines like Unity and Unreal put to work building games that would look at home on the Nintendo 64. All of this bright, shiny new tech to play with, used to make stuff that looks and feels old. And often,
it
by
stuck.
association, pretty uncomfortable, too. The horror sort of just
The
emerges
horrors.
from this process, quite naturally. Here's a particular case you might have heard of. Back in 1988, Pixar created a short film called Tin Toy. It was originally supposed to be a tech demo meant to play at conventions and trade shows to show off the kind of animation their studio was capable of. Back in the 80s and 90s, this animation was incredibly lifelike. People couldn't fathom how Pixar had managed to pull something like this off. Looking at it now, isn't it sort of creepy? Like, I do not enjoy looking at that baby.
Yeah, me
Honestly,
neither do
the reason
I.
the toys look sort of alright is because they're supposed to look like they're made of plastic. This wasn't intended to be a horror film, but purely as a consequence of time passing, it became one. I remember seeing a quote from Brian Eno floating around a few years back that touches on this. He says, "Whatever you find weird, ugly, uncomfortable, and nasty about a new medium will surely become its signature. CD distortion, the jitteriness of digital video, the crap sound of 8-bit, all of these
8-bit.
will be cherished and emulated as soon as they can be avoided. It's the sound of failure. So much modern art
The
is
sound of failure.
things going out of control, of a medium pushing to its limits and breaking apart. Remember that song from the start of the video? You've probably heard it before. It's pretty much everywhere right now. It's kind of a meme at this point. But I don't know that many people know what it's from.
I know what it's from. It
It's Just a
fucks me
Burning
up.
Memory is the first song off of the series of albums by an artist known simply as The Caretaker. Everywhere at the End of Time is 6 albums long, and every song is an edited version of a different public domain jazz number. The songs get more distorted as the albums progress, until finally you can barely recognize a tune through all the static.
Come on.
The Caretaker created Everywhere at the End of Time to reflect a losing battle with dementia. At the end of your life, the only thing you have left to hold on to, the only thing you can remember clearly, is your youth. When this
Oh my
project
god, it's all
first
sticking.
dropped, people were calling it unlistenable. Not because it was bad, but because it was so emotionally devastating. I even heard people calling it the first true horror album. Clearly, Everywhere at the End of Time is a deeply hauntological piece. It takes
Everywhere at
something
the end of
old
time
and works
fucks
it
me
to a
up.
new.
Dipshitty, welcome,
it's
welcome
not
to the
scary
stream. I hope you're having a great
because
night or
it's
day, depending on your
tautological.
time zone.
It's scary
We're
because
we're
well,
just listening to some Tail Foundry while we're doing diamond painting. Feel free to stick around. Ooh, I should move these
what it
scissors out of
is.
the way.
Hauntological pieces aren't inherently
What
creepy
the fuck
on their
keeps
own.
dropping?
I'm not running for the hills every
Things
time I see
dropping my
someone
foot.
posting about
I don't
Y2K
know what it
fashion or
was.
listening to electro swing.
Probably a bottle cap.
get
Let's
Bored. Really, really bored.
see.
I
We
think
just
this
need
is
a
pretty
real quick.
universal, right? I mean, I don't think anyone is thrilled to see Despicable Me 4 or another Ghostbusters reboot. When Ready Player One came out, a movie stuffed to the gills with old pop culture references, everyone made fun of the constant nostalgia plugs for being cheap and obnoxious. Nobody really wants this. And I think that's something the artists behind nostalgia horror are tapping into.
Let's
whether they
see.
realize
We
it
need
or
some
not.
S's.
Do you really want to
Some
live in a world where all of the
H's.
songs are trying to sound like one really popular song from 20 years ago?
Let's
Do
see.
you want
Which one is
all of your
S?
video games to look and feel exactly the same as they did
316.
when you were a kid? The nostalgia itself isn't what's uncomfortable here. It's the idea that the only thing left to engage with on a cultural level is
316.
nostalgia. It's scary to be surrounded by ghosts. Seeing all of these things recycled all the time really does feel like some kind of weird cultural seance, a conjuring of spirits. So, when the horror artists take these zeitgeists and put them into the context of actual horror, it feels fitting. As if to say, we know. We know this isn't
Scissors.
an act of remembrance. We know it's not just nostalgia. We know it's a haunting. And I'm afraid that's all for this week. Our next video will be coming out in a week from now, so I'll see you then. Unless, of course, you don't want to wait. We've actually made a ton of stuff that isn't up here on YouTube. Like this video about the morphology of angels and why
Ooh, the
artists
morphology of
always pick
angels?
these,
That sounds really
or
cool,
this one
actually.
about artificial life as a magic system.
I need to subscribe to their Nebula! I need to get Nebula, like, ASAP, honestly. Nebula seems really cool, and I want to subscribe to more people. Let's see. My favorite depictions of hell? Ooh, that sounds really interesting, actually. Let's give it a look-see.
With Fargo,
No! Absolutely the fuck not. Get out of here, Fargo. We're not fans. We do not stan. Not Fargo. Not Wells Fargo. Nope. Nope. Keep going. Let's see. Which one did I just got? Oh god, I already forgot. No, not that one. This one. 316. So we're on S, I want to say. Something like that.
in the 28th episode of Rod Sterling's The Twilight Zone, a gangster named Henry Francis
316. We're on
Valentine
S.
is killed in a shootout with the police. He awakens in heaven where his every wish and want is granted at command by a man named Pip, which at first is great, but eventually Valentine tires of this. Have you ever played a video game on the easiest possible settings? It gets old pretty quick, and
It
once boredom
does.
sets in for Valentine, he finds his paradise to be unbearable. He begs Pip to send him to the other place instead, and he tells him that, well, you may be able to deduce where this is going.
I don't belong in heaven, see? I want to go to the other place.
Heaven? Whatever gave you the idea you were in heaven, Mr. Valentine? This is the other place.
Ooh. Very The Good Place-esque, but like pre-Good Place.
Here's a question. Have you ever thought about what your own personal hell would be?
Yes,
I've been thinking
actually,
about
I
this
have.
a little bit recently, and for me, it'd probably be some kind of intensely uncomfortable.
How long
and
have I been
unspeakable
muted?
Socials.
How long have I been muted? And why was I muted? Interesting. I was making commentary. I was making jokes. Ugh, that sucks. Anyway, it's probably best you didn't hear what I just said. I was talking about personal hells.
Situation also mixed in with some
Wow.
classic
Whoopsies.
torture method too.
We're so
Using
good at streaming,
all
guys.
this shit. Actually, I know exactly what it would be. It would be going to the dentist, but the dentist talks kind of like a hairdresser does, and you have to make conversation with him while he's yoinking your teeth out. There
Oh,
that
God.
would be my own personal hell for
That's a
sure.
good
For
one.
Pancake, hell would be an endless series of
778.
people coughing around her. She inexplicably hates
778.
coughing more than anything. If you ever want Pancake to leave the room, just start coughing. For magician, actor, and innovative, legendary early filmmaker George Méliès, hell was a dance, and an elaborate one at that. In Méliès's 1904
Oh god, can you imagine dancing for all of time? All of history? All of eternity?
Machine gun. Méliès presents us with a mind-blowing, illusionary frolic where strange, perilous
I
beasts
dorped
lurk
it.
around every
I
corner.
dorped it.
Frankly,
Okay,
in
we're good.
120 years since this release, I'm not sure that there's ever been another depiction of hell that matched the showmanship or kineticism of Méliès's version. For some of y'all, hell is things like eternal boredom, being covered in slugs, or
Covered in
cat
slugs.
defecating in their laundry. And actually, that's funny. Like literally 10 minutes ago, I caught my other dog using my clean laundry bin as a bed. But big thanks to everyone who responded to the community post. For YouTubers turned filmmakers Danny and Michael Filippo, hell is, well, actually, I can't quite tell you that yet, and I can't tell you my favorite depictions of hell yet either, because
Ooh.
we'd be getting into some serious spoilers. So I'm going to give a quick spoiler
Spoiler
warning.
warning.
Timestamped when we will be talking about what, but some discussion may spill over a bit, and also you can see a list of all the media included in this video down below in the description. And man, Pancake really, she really wants to go outside, but we gotta do the spoiler.
Okay, Little Nicky, Coneheads for No Way Home, Get Out, Northman, Beyond, Mad God, Talk to Me, Heaven Can Wait, Beau is Afraid. Oh, I want to see Beau is Afraid actually, but I don't mind spoilers too much for that. Alright. I think we're good on spoilers.
Sorry, Pancake, and we'll go ahead and do that right now.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry that I've been so quiet. I literally was like muted and I was just like, why? And I'm also kind of focusing on this too, trying to make sure I grab everything. This better not be copyrighted, actually. Please don't be copyrighted music. This one. Let's see if I can scoop some of this out.
And now, Pancake can go outside while she does so. For the audio listeners only, spoiler alert for This Is the End, The Sopranos, The Northman, The Beyond, Mad God, Talk to Me, Supernatural, Heaven Can Wait, Forever, Adventure Time, and The Good Place. And also shout out to Ruby Down 3329 for correctly guessing the topic, and Lucas Coleman 1192. He got pretty close, and y'all make sure to keep an eye out for future community posts. I will never forget when my wife and I saw the Filippo Brothers 2022 film Talk to Me. It was only showing at the worst theater in the worst town in West Texas, and going in and out of there was kind of like that scene in Beau is Afraid where he runs into the convenience store. So that was just part of it, but there was also just I don't know. Honestly, I struggle to think of another film that I have had such a visceral reaction to. I mean, I am an adult man, but I could not sleep that night, which actually isn't out of the ordinary for me. In fact, it's a nightly occurrence, but I specifically could not sleep because the movie freaked me out so bad. Especially that one scene where, well, here. So Talk to Me revolves around this and a statuette that allows the user to
I've heard this song before, or I've heard of this movie before.
And if you so wish, you can allow these spirits to possess your body, which apparently gives you a great high, but if you let the ghost do so for too long, it'll haunt you or assume an extended influence or control over your body. So this group of high school friends are playing with the hand, and our protagonist lets her best friend's little brother use it, and of course the possession goes on for too long. The spirit turns out to be fairly malevolent, and it tries to kill him. And there is just something so helpless about this situation. I think that's what got me the most about it the first time in this sequence, aside from the just gruesome effects. Fantastic performances too, especially from Joe Bird in this scene. There is an effect involving one of his eyes that made me exclaim in the theater. Like, I almost cut this movie from this video entirely because I didn't want to rewatch the scene or have to edit it. And I love this movie a lot. I think it's really good, but it scared the fucking shit out of me. I've been too much of a coward to rewatch it. My wife has been trying to get me to rewatch it with her, and when asked for a quote on the film,
they are my favorite.
Was nasty, gross, a must watch. So the brother ends up in a coma while the evil spirit still possesses his body, and later in the movie we learn that his soul is being tortured in what appears to be some kind of hell. We only get brief flashes of it, but it looks so claustrophobic and uncomfortable and horrifically tortuous. This depiction of hell has always stuck with me, and apparently originally the scene was over 2 minutes long. I don't think
that would have been a long scene.
Filippo Brothers, hell is innocent actions leading to extreme consequences. Hell is the absolute most painful version of grief. For the creative team behind Season 4, Episode 5 of Adventure Time, entitled Return to the Nightosphere, hell is a really, really long line, which is absolutely true. Anyone from any walk of life or different perspective on the human experience hates waiting in long lines, even masochists. In Adventure Time's version of hell, aka the Nightosphere, hell is an understaffed, disparate collection of demons and lost souls just kind of all stuck there together. This version of hell also has some very fun demon design and other stuff going on too, and I really kind of like how passive everybody is about everything except for cutting in line. It is a supremely enjoyable take from a supremely enjoyable show.
Oh, I think I've seen this episode. I've never seen Supernatural, but I've seen this episode.
Oh, nothing? Just the end of the world.
Well, if I don't mention the Eric Kripke created series Supernatural, I'm gonna get yelled at again in the comments. So as far as
Supernatural fans are not to be messed with.
What struck me the most about it when Dean gets sent there at the end of season 3 by the, I think, Hellhounds, right? They like drag him to hell. If my memory serves correct, I still haven't finished the show, even though I know some of y'all want me to, but what I found most compelling about Supernatural's hell was just Dean's state of mind after he returns from from hell. You can really tell from just how traumatized he is by the experience there, how awful and cruel it truly was. And that's all you need. You could show an hour of Dean being tortured in hell, but it still would not compare or have near the same effect as just seeing his face when asked about what happened to him there. For Eric Kripke, hell is an insurmountable, lingering trauma. For Phil Tippett, the legendary animator who spent 30 years crafting the film Mad God in his basement, seemingly out of blood, spit, shit. And
Oh, ad starts in 10
hell
seconds.
is a meat
Sorry, everybody.
grinder. Attempting to
I didn't realize there was
recreate
gonna
the
be an
best of
ad.
Mad God would be a
Here we
fruitless
go.
task. It would go something like a freaky little invisible man-looking guy who makes monkey
Ba,
noises,
ba, ba, ba,
dangles
ba.
a light on a string.
Oh, it
that
looks like it's on
tracks
top of the
this other
TV. That's
freaky little
cute.
guy who he catches, but then a lumpy monster comes out of his house and butchers him while someone in a gas mask watches, and then he sees all these giant beings being electrocuted, which causes them to poop ferociously into the mouth of it.
What?
See what I mean? What truly matters about Mad God
Like,
is
pardon?
the
What is this
the
here?
aesthetic of its crafted world. There is something about the landscape of Mad God that just feels so vast and expansive. Every layer of its hell is an entirely different biome built on a different food chain. To be clear, I don't think that Mad God is set in the hell, but it is certainly a hell. The most affecting moment of the film for me is the sequence where you see these little
My
worker
body's
guys
not allowed to
attempt
pain from
navigate the
working out.
world's deadliest work site. They're
I'm
treated
suffering
as
a little bit
extremely
as a treat.
expendable slaves, and I just
My shoulders
can't
especially
help but
hurt.
feel sorry for these voiceless, faceless
But I will suffer.
little guys.
For a
Phil
little
Tippett,
longer.
hell is a living, breathing, shitting, and farting machine that puts its most vulnerable members through a wood chipper and then grounds them into mulch. For Phil Tippett, hell is, well, eerily familiar. For writer-director Lucio Fulci, hell is an empty wasteland where the dead are doomed to become lost and forgotten. In 1981's The Beyond, a door to hell has been opened, and some of its occupants begin to leak out into the world. Liza and John accidentally stumble through the doorway to hell when fleeing from some of its escaped monstrosities, and they discover hell to be a barren, dead wasteland where they are now doomed to fade away into the empty nothingness.
That sounds interesting. I like that concept, actually. I want to work with something like that now, actually. Hold on. Brainstorming. Well, I'll brainstorm after ad time's over. I will share my ideas soon.
One of my favorite aspects of David Chase's masterpiece, The Sopranos, of which there are so many, is that there are supernatural elements at play, ranging from visions of the Virgin Mary to reincarnated cats. When Chris awakens from his coma after he gets shot, either at the end of season 2 or towards the end of it, he tells Tony and Polly that he visited hell and that it is an Irish bar called the Emerald Piper, where it is forever St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
We
shit.
saw his father there, as well as other slain mob members, both friend and foe alike. There are even Roman soldiers there. They are all playing dice, but can't ever win. The Irish win every roll. And Chris has been sent back from the afterlife with a message for Tony and Polly.
Yeah, he said, tell Tony and Paulie 3 o'clock.
I will tell you what, I believe him. There is no doubt in my mind that this is Chris's true hell. There are other versions of hell in the show depending on how deep you choose to read into some of its symbolism. I really like and also find it pretty funny how Polly also believes him and is affected by this. He is a little more in touch with his spiritual side than Tony is. And you know what? Quick Sopranos tangent, my favorite character by far is Polly, and that is largely due to just how perfect Tony Sirico is. No other actor in the world could have made Paulie work the way that he did.
Think about it though, Tony. So weight loss, AIDS?
And my favorite scene in the whole series is Chris's intervention, which ends with everyone just kicking the shit out of him. It is so fucking funny. And also the most underrated joke in the entire series is from the episode where Johnny Sack's daughter gets married and Johnny asks Tony to kill, I think it was Frankie Valli, but he doesn't want to do it, and then he and Chris have this little exchange.
John just asked me specifically.
So it's like the movie.
What movie?
One. But you can't refuse a man's request on his daughter's wedding day?
Well, it's the other way around. That I should be asking him for something he can't refuse.
So did you?
No,
You should ask not to do this.
I already fucking agreed.
They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but in Michael Schur's The Good Place, the road to heaven is paved with bad intentions. At least that is the case for our protagonist Eleanor, who, due to a bureaucratic oopsie-daisy, takes someone else's place in heaven, aka The Good Place. Eleanor spends most of the series' first season trying to keep her secret and remain in The Good Place, and along the way she forms friendships with her housemates and a handful of her neighbors, one of which is actually also supposed to be in The Other Place. Eventually their secret does come out, and a great deal of time is spent squabbling back and forth on what to do about it and what will happen next. It is at the height of this drama that Eleanor has a massive revelation, and you know, I can talk about perfect moments in stuff till the cows come home, which, what the fuck does that mean? By the way, why aren't the cows home? Where are the cows?
Where
Maybe
are
one of
the
these days I'll do a
cows?
video on perfect
Welcome back,
moments or
everybody, from
scenes
the
or
ads, by the
whatever,
way.
but forget any and everything else. This is not a perfect moment. This is the perfect moment.
This is the bad place.
Oh, man.
Ted Danson gives a 10 out of 10 performance in this scene, and I've already talked a little bit in this video and in at least one other one about the "you've been dead" or "in hell the whole time" trope, but this is the absolute best possible version of that. And it is unbelievable that over 50 years after that episode of The Twilight Zone, the same twists executed in the same way is still so damn effective. Frankly,
It is a very good show.
miraculous.
I fucking
As
love The
for
Good Place.
Actual bad place, it is an
I need to finish
uncomfortable,
it.
failing bureaucracy plagued by office politics and awkward relationships with passive-aggressive coworkers. For Michael Schur, hell is a trap. You know, Eleanor, that lady who just died, who was a terrible person in life, well, the demons or whatever heard that she's coming down here to the bad place. So they set up a trap for her. This whole good place, it's a trap. So originally this video was going to involve depictions of hell and heaven, heaven and hell, but I just couldn't come up with enough depictions of heaven that really compelled me. In truth, the concept of heaven has always been kind of weird to me anyway.
Yeah.
Something I haven't been able to take all that seriously. Like, have you ever thought about how awkward heaven must be? Imagine you are driving your family somewhere and you lose focus for a minute, drift off the road, and get everyone killed. When everybody wakes up in heaven, wouldn't they all be super pissed at you? I think heaven would have to have a strict no score settling policy. If you died young and then your significant other lived to old age, wouldn't it be a little uncomfortable if you weren't attracted to them anymore in the same way, or vice versa? Or what if one of y'all had moved on whilst the other had not? The Alan Yang and Matt Hubbard 2018 limited series Forever kind of toys with this idea.
Bam.
After June's husband Oscar dies in a skiing accident, ending their unhappy marriage, June gets a big promotion in Hawaii and is set to revitalize her life, and then she chokes on a macadamia nut and dies. She awakens in heaven, where her husband has been patiently waiting for her. For Yang and Hubbard, heaven is, well, a match made in hell. Although not really. The show is a heartfelt and very well fleshed out look at the ups and downs of marriage. Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen's 2013 film This Is the End features a pretty funny depiction of heaven. It is an awesome place where everyone is partying and the Backstreet Boys are performing. Robert Eggers' 2022 film The Northman features Valhalla, which sort of glows in the night sky while a Valkyrie with anachronistic braces rides into it, ready to carry our hero to glory. And so I watched Warren Beatty's 1978 film Heaven Can Wait for the first time this past week. It's a bit of a classic and received quite a bit of awards season love, but it definitely has not had the same staying power as the other heavy hitter from 78, The Deer Hunter. Initially, I only made 20 minutes through the movie because once we arrive in heaven, it is quickly made clear that this is in fact not heaven at all, but instead just a loading zone. Basically, there is a literal plane where the recently deceased are boarding to go to heaven, and so I turned it off because it didn't really fit into the video anymore, but there was just something about it that continued to call out to me like a siren or Willem Dafoe in the Green Goblin mask. I just had to finish it, and so I did. And you would not believe some of the shit that goes down in this movie. The ending has sent me into an existential death spiral,
shit.
and I just have to talk to someone about this movie. Let me set the mood first. Siri, please play In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edward Grieg. Heaven Can Wait is the story of a pro football player named Joe, whose #1 character trait is that he loves the saxophone, and also he has just been named the new starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. He believes that it is his destiny to win the Super Bowl that year, but this endeavor encounters a minor inconvenience when a car hits him and he fucking dies. So he wakes up in the afterlife, and his spirit guide or whatever does the absolute worst possible job of explaining to him that he isn't dreaming and is actually dead. And yes, he is holding a saxophone here. He carries it around with him basically the whole movie. So Mr. Jordan shows up, who is sort of in charge of all of this hoopla, and he reveals that actually Joe wasn't supposed to die, just suffer life-altering, debilitating injuries, and his spirit guide jumped the gun by reaping his soul, and now he's gotta go put him back in his body. But that plan falls flat when it turns out his body has been cremated. So Mr. Jordan is like, hey, no worries, man, it's all love. We'll just put you in the body of someone who is dying, and then you can be them from now on.
No.
So they stick him in the body of this Machiavellian millionaire whose wife and assistant have conspired to kill him. Amazing line, by the way, when the wife discovers that he is still alive.
Sorry to disturb you, Mr. Farnsworth. Mrs. Farnsworth saw a mouse, but she's better now.
She just saw a mouse?
No, before, outside, but she relives it.
She relives
this
it.
other woman whose storyline honestly doesn't really matter all that much, and then he contacts his old trainer, and by the way, even though he's still Warren Beatty, everybody else sees him as the other guy, as the millionaire instead. The scene where he first inhabits the millionaire's body drove me up the wall, because the film has two golden opportunities to show how this functions visually. First, when he looks in the mirror, and then again in this cut right here, which seems tailor-made to show what he actually looks like, but it just doesn't. So he wants to still be the Rams quarterback and win the Super Bowl. It is his destiny, remember, and his old trainer can't quite get him on the team, so Joe buys the Los Angeles Rams and then just makes himself the new starting quarterback. Then Mr. Jordan shows up and is like, hey, so we're gonna take you out of this body, actually. This was just a temporary arrangement, and we're gonna put you in a new one that is more similar to your previous life. And he's like, no, I want to be this millionaire guy now. And then the assistant snipes him, and his body falls into a well. A detective talks to everyone about this incident, and the woman he was into kind of randomly has two killer lines in this scene back to back.
That's all right. I don't know you well enough for you to hurt me. I hope you don't doubt my word. I don't. I'm absolutely sure that you're lying.
So then we cut to the Super Bowl, and the actual Rams quarterback is killed during the game. Then Mr. Jordan and Joe show up, and Mr. Jordan is like, this was the plan all along. Go get him, Tiger. So Joe gets in the
I keep asking where it
and
is,
wins them the game,
but that's not really what I want to ask. I want to ask why is
all
the
of
thing.
his memories of his previous life and will truly be this other guy now. So that happens, and then he
my
hits
stomach
on that
is
woman
not
again, and
agreeing
she
with
sort
me
of
today.
learns that it is still actually Joe inside of there.
I want to pause a little bit and just chat. I want to pause a little bit and just chat. For my, so I mentioned this on Twitter. I've been going to the gym recently. It's really tiring. But I'm having a good time, honestly. It's nice to have some sort of routine that I can force myself to do to get into shape. Hold on, just the glare from the new ring light that I have is kind of making it a bit tough to see which ones are H's and which ones are 4's. I think I got all of them though, for now. But okay, hear me out. Hear me out. On this idea, folks. Estrellitas. A movie like a comedy almost, like a kind of dark comedy about like a tour guide in hell who is like showing off all the varieties of hell that they've got, like different hells and stuff, to the viewer who is like trying to determine which one to go to. It's kind of like a tourism guide video, except it's in hell. So You've Died. That should be the name of it, actually. Welcome to Hell or something. No, I think Welcome to Hell is already taken by something. Didn't they make a second one of that, actually? I think Welcome to Hell is the short animated film, right? I think they've already used that. There we go. There's so many H's. Ah! Okay. It was a bit silly of me to open up the H's. Or to open up the second part of the... these are the K's, I believe. Hold on, I just want to get like... Come on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm cutting my finger a little bit. I'm scratching it a little bit. 4. Okay. But like a short film like that, I think would be very funny. Ache. I might honestly have to call stream soon, because I've still got a lot of homework to do. Although I suppose I could do it on stream, but I don't think it'd be very entertaining. It's mostly me just writing out pages and editing stuff and stuff. Might do that in like a call instead. Or I might take a nap too, because honestly, I'm really tired. The gym really has been taking it out of me a little bit. Not in a bad way, just in a, oh, as soon as I'm done, it's nap time. Hold on, let me sit back a little bit real quick and just stretch. Okay. I did a full body workout today, which is why I'm just kind of sore all over, but especially in my shoulders. I did and my legs. Ooh, my legs are bad. I did some core exercises, which was fun, but let me put on some music actually. Hold on. I feel like, come on. Lo-fi. Lo-fi time. Get rid of the chat. Oh well, I'll get rid of the chat whenever it pops up, which might not be for a while, because my opera is silly goofy. But let's see, what other things have I been up to, Estrellitas? It feels like it's been a while since we just chatted. I started watching Love Live, which has been very fun. That's actually what inspired me to start working out, was actually Love Live. Love Live Superstar. How do I explain this in a way that doesn't make me sound like a complete weeb? I mean, there's no way to make it sound like I'm not a complete weeb, so might as well just embrace it at this point. But essentially, I was watching Love Live at like 5 in the morning, as one does, and I got to the second episode where they have to start learning how to dance for a competition. And I was like, ooh, dancing sounds fun. Like, I've always wanted to be able to dance. I like to think I can sing okay, but like dancing is not my strong suit. Mostly, I have the rhythm, I just don't have the flexibility or like the movement to do it. I don't have the ability to keep up with it, or like the stamina or the endurance. So I decided to start going to the gym so that I could work up the stamina so I could learn how to dance. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, let's see. I want to start doing like I want to get like a 3D model at some point so I can do dance videos whenever I actually learn how to dance. I think that would be very fun and funny. Yeah. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll get there. I've also been focusing on school a lot too, which is why my schedule has been a bit all over the place. We're approaching finals. Ugh, God, I'm so nervous about finals. Sorry, I'm daydreaming. No. I'm thinking about stuff. I don't know if I should say this on stream yet. Probably not. But I've baited you all, so I guess I'll kind of go into it a little bit. This is gonna get a little political, so fair warning on that. Yeah, I'll try not to get too much into it, but I might be moving soon. Might be moving out of my place soon to go to another place. 2 options. There are 2 different options here. Also, this music's loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. But, there's 2 options here for where we go. My family and I. Still trying to figure it out. I'll keep you all updated. Hopefully I won't have to take a hiatus. I'm really hoping I don't have to take another hiatus. I know I make jokes about how if I will never graduate, but honestly, if I take another hiatus, I might just call it there. No, actually, I like streaming too much. I think I like streaming too much to ever really, truly want to give it up. Ugh, God. It's stressful, honestly. Shit's been kind of stressful. I still need to write like 60 pages of my script. At least by the end of the semester, and then I have to write another 30 pages of it after the semester ends, which is quite a lot. Ah, boy, it's just stressful. And I'm hoping I can figure stuff out soon. I'm strong. I'm sure I'll be okay. But I don't know. It's just a lot to handle right now, a lot to deal with. What else has been going on in my life? Something is missing in my life. Won't somebody tell me where it's gone? I'm practicing more songs with my singing teacher. That's been fun. You know. I can't really say which ones I'm working on because I might actually want to do covers of them, and I like keeping covers a surprise. But having fun. We're having fun, folks. I've been seeing a singing teacher for like years now. I hope the improvement's showing, because I actually do try. I do genuinely try. And I really want my covers to come out good. I'm hopeful that my covers will come out soon. I know that the one cover is taking a little while. Behind the scenes stuff with the editor and stuff. I don't want to out too much. I don't want to say too much because it's not my shit to share, essentially. But I can say she's definitely hard at work on it. And hopefully it'll come out at some point. Because we worked really hard on that cover. It's... Honestly, I can't say if the cover's good or not. Because I've always been really hard on myself about, like, everything that I do. Not to, like, trauma dump. Not to vent. But, like, I'm really hard. I'm just genuinely really hard on myself. So, like, it feels like a lot of the things that I do is never, like, good enough. And it's something I'm definitely working on. I'm working on, like, looking at things that I've done and being like, yes, this is good, and I'm proud of it, you know? But I genuinely think the cover is good. I genuinely think it's a good cover. Honestly... Maybe I'll just, like, drop it. Maybe I'll just drop the cover and be like, oh, surprise! And then run away into the ether. Giggling. Run off into the night sky. How funny would that be, actually, if I was just like... No stream tonight, but here, have this. And I just dropped the cover. Actually, I won't say which song I covered, because, again, surprises. But what was it? Oh god, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. I was walking down the street today. I was listening to music, and the song that I covered actually fucking popped up on my YouTube. I was like, oh fuck yeah. It's a banger song, guys. I think you'll like it when it finally comes out. I actually should talk to the editor and be like, hi. How's it going? She's so cool, guys. My editor is so cool. I love her to bits. But because of things going on in the real world, it's just been tough to focus on anything. Hold on. I gotta take some more water. She does a great job with the shorts, though. The shorts? Oh, Ghosty does so good with the shorts. I love Ghosty. Ghosty is cool. She put up with me. She and June, actually, we were talking recently. We were all talking in a group chat. And they just let me go on about Paperback Paradise, which if you guys don't know what Paperback Paradise is, you guys are fucking missing out. Let me see if I can actually find a Paperback Paradise real quick. Let's see. That's Saddam Hussein. Paperback Paradise. I get the weirdest memes on my Twitter and shit. They just posted one, which I will just save image as. This is the kind of shit you can expect from Paperback Paradise. Incredible locations to enjoy a heart attack. It is genuinely one of my favorite, hold on. Genuinely one of my favorite, like, accounts on the internet, period. Like, they have one, I think my favorites are the Italian Ghost one. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the Italian Ghost, Horse Crimes, and, what's the other one called? Fuck, I don't even remember. What was it called? Italian Ghost, Horse Crimes, and Eating Chess Pieces. The Guide to Eating Chess Pieces. Which I will not explain what any of those things are. What any of that means. You're just gonna have to go find out for yourself. Scroll past drones. There was a drone strike in heaven. Have fun with that. I think I sent a, one of the things in my Discord. I sent a Paperback Paradise in Discord once, and you guys were all like, what the fuck is that? It was the drone strike in heaven one, I think, if I remember correctly. You guys were all like, what is that? I was like, it's comedy. Duh. God, Paperback Paradise gets me. It's so good. I cannot let my intrusive... The what? What? The what? The drone strike in heaven? or the horse crimes? Or the Italian ghost? Or... What are we talking about here, Bongo Bill? You're gonna have to be more specific about the weird thing that I just said. Because honestly, I don't remember. Also, I love just starting my laundry at night and doing my homework at night too. Yeah, I get more energy at night, so it's usually better for me to just do stuff at night anyway. I wasted too much time on Until Dawn. That's so fair, though. I haven't played Until Dawn yet. I need to do that at some point. Gosh. Homework is such a pain. Oh, I gotta write like 60 pages in 3 weeks, which I've got 7 to 9 pages down so far, so that's like a 10th of the way there. A 6th maybe of the way there. Maybe more like 7 actually, so maybe closer to 7. But what I'm doing right now is I'm doing like 3 pages a night every night. Because if I don't do 3 pages a night, I will die. I knew it was one of those, oh, your choices affect the story, and I thought it was like a Telltale game. Oh. Yeah. Kind of like Life is Strange, but not quite, I think, right? But there's so much more details than the Telltale games. I've never played a Telltale game, actually. Which is surprising, because they seem like it would be up my alley. Honestly, like, the games where it's like, your choices matter. Those give me so much anxiety. I'm just like, oh, why do they matter? You know? Gah. Like, I'm just like, will they hate me if I do this? And I start crying. Honestly, I'm such a baby. Fucking, I get so anxious over video game characters liking me, and it's like, they can't like you, they're not real. But it's like, what if I hurt their feelings though? What then, huh? What do I do then, huh? I just die? I die in the game, I die in real life kind of thing. So. Come on. Oh god, this one's stuck upside down. Get the cat hair off. Then take it in. Put it on the edge. Okay. Gua, 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 gua. Oh, my shoulders are such a pain. The best part of Until Dawn is you play as every character, so you don't have to worry about anyone liking you because you're everyone. Oh, thank God. Okay, maybe I will play Until Dawn then. Maybe I will do that, actually. Seems fun. Each. Let's see. What other games have I played recently? I started playing Pizza Tower again, but I only played it like once or twice. So, I've beaten Pizza Tower before. Which is one of the reasons why I haven't played it on stream yet. But one of my ideas for a stream is actually to like try and P rank all the levels. Which is way easier said than done. I think I've only ever P ranked the first level, like the very first one, not the tutorial, but the one after the tutorial, and also Pepperman. I have a friend though who I think has P ranked like a majority of it, if not the entire thing. And I'm just like, how the fuck do you do that? What the fuck? By the way, I want to ask, is this one of those each color square is a different color drawing puzzles where you can't tell what it is until you finish? Oh, I already know what it is. It's a flower, but it's like a diamond painting, so I have to take these little itty bitties right here, these little diamonds, quote unquote, and I have to put them on the squares where they are supposed to be. So this one is H right now. It's kind of like a paint by numbers, but with like little plastic diamonds. Yeah, it is very fun. I am enjoying this. It's kind of like almost zen, like. Is that the right thing to say, actually? I don't know. But it's very relaxing. It's very like meditative. Which is why I'm being a bit more introspective this stream. Teehee. But oh, I forgot to mention this, but I think I had like one of the best meals of my life tonight. I think that is the thing that happened tonight. I was walking home from the gym, and there's this place nearby where I live. Well, I'm gonna look for a bit now so I can finish that homework. Yeah, go ahead. I wish you the best of luck, Bongo Billy. I'm saluting you. You can't see it, but I'm saluting you. Good luck. Good luck. You've got this. But basically, what was it? I finished up at the gym and I was walking home and I stopped by a Thai place that I've been seeing in my neighborhood. I've walked past it a few times. It's always packed. Always fucking packed. And I hadn't really heard anybody say good or bad things about it, but I looked it up on Google and it had like a 4.8 star. So I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I was gonna get something else. I was gonna get like sushi or something, but let's try this place. I don't remember what I ordered actually. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not gonna say what it's called because I don't know if it's a chain or not. No, I think it's just the singular restaurant, but let me see if I can find. I don't remember what I got, which is why I'm trying to find it. Is this it? Yes, this is it. I don't know what the actual name for it is, but it's called, on here, it says Thai basil chili minced pork rice. Oh, guys, that shit was so fucking good. And I got like some fried chicken wings too. Ooh, those were so fucking good, man. It was a nice little treat after the gym. I might actually go back on Sunday, make it like a little reward thing after I'm done with the gym. Unless I'm feeling something else. I live in a pretty big city, so it's never really too hard to find anything to eat, which is nice. So, unless it's like 4 or 5 in the morning, then maybe I'll have some trouble. But like for the most part, it's never too difficult to find like some food. I love food, guys. I don't know if I've talked much about this. I fucking love food. Food is like, I've said this before and I'll say it as many times as I need to. Food's a fucking art. It doesn't have to be a pretty art, but it's an art. Like, I think taste matters more than appearance, if you ask me. Like, you can give me the ugliest cake in the world, but if it tastes great, it tastes great, you know? Preferably it would look a little appetizing, but like, honestly, it is not the most concerning aspect of it. Or it's not the aspect that I'm most concerned with. Yeah. I have so many things to worry about right now. I have so much stuff on my plate. But I am enjoying this diamond painting, and that is keeping me sane. I have a lot of things to look forward to, though. Like, there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes at Star Traveler VT Starship. There's a lot of things going on that I'm very excited for. So hopefully things will pan out. I'm sure they will, honestly. I'm not too concerned about those things. I'm just more so concerned about when they'll happen. But we'll figure it out. I'm working on it. We're hard at work. That actually reminds me, I have to finish some more stuff. More stuff that I forgot about. Maybe if I didn't slouch, my back wouldn't hurt so much. I am shrimping hardcore right now, actually. Let me try sitting up straight a little bit. Oh, there's so many H's. Holy shit. Okay. It's fine. Everything's okay. Now I kind of want to watch, what's it called? Now I kind of want to watch, Love Live more. I want to watch more Love Live. I think that would be fun. Also, sorry stream started so late today, guys. I got home like 3 minutes before stream was supposed to start, and I was like, I'm not getting everything set up in time. But I did get a new ring light. A new ring light, so hopefully my tracking will be a bit better. Because I realized that to my phone, I'm actually usually backlit, which is maybe not great. So, yeah! Tracking! Tracking, yeah. That didn't make sense. That was silly and dumb. I was trying to go for like an America, yeah. America, yeah. Oh, I've also been watching like a lot of Doug recently. I've been watching a lot of streamers recently, but mostly like clip compilations, honestly. My silly little brain doesn't allow me to stay tuned to a lot of things for too long. I drift off, or I just don't get bored per se, but I just like lose. How do I explain this? Fuck. It's not even that I get bored, it's just that I get distracted, I guess is the best way to put it. And then I'm like, oh, pretty pictures, you know, pretty butterflies or something. And then I just kind of forget that I'm watching a stream, or I just don't watch, or I go to watch something else. Look at this go. Look at this cute pen. Look how cute it is. It's so sparkly, guys. I also wish this thing would kind of focus a bit better. Wow. I'm thinking about stuff. I'm thinking about my commissions and how they are open. And how I haven't really gotten a commission in a while, which is fine. You know, I understand. Not everybody's looking for writing, which is fine. No, you gotta be looking for writing right now, you know. But no, it's fine. But I'm thinking of like, I've been considering like opening like different kinds of commissions. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm taking web design class, and I've been learning a lot about HTML, so I'm thinking of, like, helping people with websites. But the thing is that I'm not a graphic designer, so I need to team up with a graphic designer or something in order to feel like I could actually sustainably supply people with stuff. Unless I wanted to learn how to use, like, fucking... what's it called? Not InDesign, Illustrator. Because I have the Adobe Creative Cloud. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Sometimes you just gotta meow your heart out. Would meowing count as a vocal stim? I think so, right? I mean, I think I've explained this on stream before. I think I've talked about this on stream before. But, like, I got an autism diagnosis at one point. And then I went to get it, like, as an adult, I was like, I wonder if this is still applicable to me. You know, because I got it when I was in preschool. I don't know if it still applies or not. And they were like, oh, actually, you make too much eye contact to be autistic. I was like, oh. Okay. And all my friends called that out as the bullshit it is. But I honestly don't know if I'm actually, like, autistic or not. There was a while where I thought I was bipolar. Mostly because one of my doctors had, like, diagnosed me with it. But then I started talking to my current doctors, and they were like, oh, that's actually kind of fucked up that she said that. Because you're not. You're absolutely not bipolar. I was like, oh, okay. So, that was interesting. I wonder if that, like, I don't know. I always kind of wondered if that counts as lying. Because, like, I mean, on one hand, I didn't know. Like, I wasn't, like, lied to, per se. Well, okay. I guess if the logic here that I'm thinking of is if the doctor thought it was true and I thought it was true, then it's not lying that I told people that I was bipolar. 'Cause we were under the belief that that was the case, and when we found out it wasn't, we tried our best to, like, course correct. So technically not lying. I don't know. I get so, like, hyper vigilant about, like, how people, I don't, actually that's my, no, I don't think it's too dark for stream. I just think it's, like, sad and maybe a little pathetic. But, like, I'm very hyper vigilant about, like, how people perceive me, and, like, it's not really that I want to be liked by everyone, because I know that that's not a possibility. I know that there are going to be people out there who don't like me, and you know what, that's fine. Like, but I think every human wants to be liked. I think every person out there has, like, a craving for community. So I think that's normal, but I think my brain just takes it up to, like, a different degree. So, because brains are weird like that, you know? Brains are fucked up, man. Brains are fucked up little guys. Maybe no, I should keep going with the H's for now. Let me take some more water. Hold on. It's impossible to read the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if I can... That's not gonna help too much, because then you can't see the diamond painting. I guess we'll just suffer together. Boy, oh boy. Let me see if I can change chat a little bit. Textile. That's better. Let me see if I can... That actually doesn't look too bad. Let's make it a little bigger too. That should be good, I think. We'll work with that for now. Hopefully that's a little more legible than what I had before. Where was I? H's. But yeah, I started watching Love Live, and Love Live is literally making my life better. Which is a little embarrassing to say, but I mean, it's inspiring me. It really is. Sometimes you just need, like, I feel like I watch so much sad stuff. I watch, which is true. I like horror, and I like indulging in, like, the more macabre side. But sometimes I just need a little pick-me-up, you know? You feel me? Oh, I'm tired. I feel like I didn't make much. Well, actually, no, I made progress. I made progress, that's for sure. That's an equal sign. Okay. I feel like I made a lot of progress. Well, maybe not a lot, but I made progress. Let's see. Let's see. More H's, or should I switch over to a different color? Let's try to finish the H's at the very least, because I don't think... There's still a few H's here and there. And by a few, I mean like a lot. Don't stick, don't stick. Come on. Meow. There's an H here. Nope. H. Is that? Oh, that's not sticky. That's weird. None of this is sticky. This is sticky. This is not. Slightly concerning. Maybe it'll get more sticky when we take off the... Looks like it'll stick. I guess that's good enough for me. Ad straight incoming in 5 minutes. Whoa. Come on. Stick. There we go. Just kind of have to manually stick it on there, I guess, for now. Maybe I'll glue it down if it doesn't stick. If it doesn't hold well, I'll glue it down. Yeah, for some reason it's not sticky. That's so weird. Concerning. I need to finish watching Isoken too. Like, keep your hands off my Isoken. Or keep your hands off the Isoken or whatever it's called. That show's so fucking good. And I still haven't finished it, which is kind of sad. Sorry, my back's really hurting. That's what I get for working out right before stream. Better to do it before than after, though, if you ask me. After stream, I get so tired. We're about to hit a ad, so get ready for that. Estrellitas. It's gonna be ad time shortly. It'll be at 3 minutes. Might take a little break during that time too, just to grab a snack. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab a snack real quick, and then maybe move to just chatting for a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Alright. BRB Estrellitas. Wahoo! What? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong one. That's why it's not working. Bam. Hi. Welcome back, Estrellitas. Let me just fix the chat again real quick so that it's not completely legible. Oh no, I wanted to be like... I saw purple today. There we go. That's pretty, actually. I like that. It's a... Perfect. So I've got a snack now. I guess we're just gonna chat for the rest of the stream because my arm's starting to hurt, and I'm also like getting a little tired of like... Well, not my arm's starting to hurt. My back's really just bugging me. So I want to have a little snack. Join me, why don't you? Maybe I'll make this a homework stream too, honestly. I might work on some homework actually. That doesn't sound too bad. Like too bad of an idea anyway. I think homework. I just don't know how fascinating I can make it because I can't really share my idea. It's not that I'm worried that people will steal it. It's just that, like, if I ever do want to make it into something, I have to write a script. If I ever do want to make the script into something, if it's revealed that I've, like, showed it off before, it's less likely that I'll be able to make it. Which is, makes sense. It does make sense, honestly. I'm not gonna say it's stupid. I honestly might just call it here too, honestly, because it's just... I'm tired. I'm just really tired, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here for now. I'm trying to work up my endurance on this. I'm just like kind of tuckered out from today. I had a lot of stuff going on today. But tomorrow we're playing Baba Is You, so get ready for that. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited actually for Baba Is You. But yeah, just remember, Estrellitas, that you are loved and cared for. And if nobody's in your corner rooting for you, I'm hanging up paintings in your home. I'm just doing that, man. Cause you know why? You know why I'm doing that for you? Cause I'm rooting for you. So I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry that the stream wasn't as long as usual. I'm just really tuckered out. And you know what? I don't know if I even have to explain. But yeah, I'm just tuckered out. But I'll see you all next time. Good night, everybody. Bye, 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 bye.